Alright, this should be live. Alright, it's been 2 weeks. We played a lot of games. Also, we have a new patch, so there's a lot of changes. So, I'm gonna do another one of the tier lists for the Champions and Classic, taking into assumption this is like competitive and that we've put some the theory that we had to the test, and also trying to predict how the new champions and the change is to the existing ones will affect their power level. And I'm also doing this based on like data from like competitive play, like especially for Shen and Kennen. They were freaking competitive picks back then, so you have like a good grasp of how good they were just from that. And Akali was never picked almost, so that gives you an idea. But S tier, this is always champions you should pick or ban. So it was number first. Last time it was Skarner, but Skarner was bugged, and for that reason he was OP, and they fixed that bug. So the new number one is Twisted Fate, and there's a lot of reasons for that. So with Twisted Fate, there was a lot of theory behind him. Like you had the global TP. He was like, okay, you can do some stupid shit with him. Well, yeah, you can do stupid shit with him. Like you can play him support, jungle, mid, and top. I personally think he's best jungle, but a lot of people say he's really good support. He's not bad as a top laner. He's not bad as a mid laner. So like, I think you can pick him in any role, except ADC. When you're playing against TF, you literally cannot take any fight ever as long as he exists, because if you overextend even once, you'll get art punished and you die. And every time I've played against TF, it feels like I'm always restrained and I can't do anything. And when I've played it, it feels like it's not even fair for the enemy team because I can just be anywhere anytime. You can just out macro the enemy team and they can't do anything about it. And with his ultimate giving vision and slows, if you overextend it just once, you're fucked because the slow's just gonna leave you getting killed. And if you try to like sneak a Baron or sneak a Dragon or something early, well, he can catch you doing that. There's a redacted build. We're gonna say what the redacted build just once. Then we're never gonna say what the redacted build is ever again. So make sure you take your pencil out, take notes. The redacted build is Runan's Hurricane with Ionic Spark. Though I guess you could also do it with Shiv. It's basically you get the procs on like 2 auto attacks. Essentially, every 4 auto attacks, you'll get 3 procs. And that build does a lot of damage and lets you push really fast. And that build's going to come up for another bunch of champions. And the build is really cheap and easy to build. So, yeah, this is why it's the redacted build. We don't want Riot to know about this. Yeah, this hero can build whatever the fuck he wants. You can go full AP, you can build tank. As long as you get some CDR, like you can build Twin Shadows, Shirelias, like it doesn't matter. Just build whatever the fuck you want, you'll be useful. You just need to get CDR so you can have your OP global TP and OP slow on cooldown, and your gold card is still really strong. You don't even put points into Q in this hero unless you're like jungling or solo laning, because it's 1 point that you're not putting into W and E. And yeah, global passive, everyone gets a gold lead. That's just ridiculous. You do nothing and your team gets ahead. But the biggest problem with this champion, and this is gonna come up for another bunch of champions, is what we can gather from the first patch is that they're bouncing around terrible data from shit tier elo games with like completely dog shit subhuman players that don't even know how to fucking tie up their shoelaces. Like these people are losing to Heimerdinger. These people are making Warwick look OP. These people are losing to like apparently Jarvan is the best jungler. Like he's a good champion, but he's the best jungler. Not even close. Heimerdinger is apparently the best mid laner. That's a joke. Best AD carry was Twitch. I mean, he was pretty strong, but like he was. I think there's way more better AD carries than Twitch, and support was Blitzcrank. Like Blitzcrank is, I guess, in the solo queue setting, it would make sense, but like He's not that OP. It's just Moby Boots are OP, and every other support can do the same thing. So, like, their data is a joke, and that's gonna lead to a lot of champions that are OP never getting nerfed because they're quote unquote hard to play. So that means like they're always gonna have a low win rate, and all the champions that are super easy are gonna have high win rates, so they're gonna get nerfed, and that's gonna be dog shit for the game mode long term. And I really hope they change how they balance or they get better data because if this stays like this, it's gonna be a joke. Like Twisted Fate's never gonna get nerfed because he's too hard to play. So yeah, I really hope this fucking data thing gets fixed because there's no way that Twisted Fate doesn't get nerfed this patch with this ridiculous E and this ridiculous ult. Downside is damage sucks. Like he actually does no damage, but it doesn't matter. Like you just create unplayable gameplay situation for the enemy team, and even though he's actually hard to play, his floor isn't that like it's not that hard to play him. Like he's you can pick him up and do fine. Like if you just know how to macro, you're gonna do good on him. He should be 100% ban rate. Like every game, you should be banned. If you get someone who plays him and mains him, you're gonna hate your life. And compared to last time, he was like ranked 10. Now he's a plus 9. So Twisted Fate stocks up big time. Number two, Janna, and there's gonna be some people that strongly disagree, and others that strongly agree. But like, after playing it with in against her, well, she's up 2 spots. I rated her fourth, and I thought she was gonna be higher than I thought. And then no, actually, I underrated her, so that's crazy. And she makes like half the champions impossible to play. Like Tryndamere was OP this patch, and well, if you're against Janna and you're Tryndamere, you can't play the game. Doesn't matter. Like she just makes your champion useless, and then she enables the other champions on her team to do stupid shit. And one big thing with this champion, and the reason she might get nerfed more often than other champions, she takes absolutely no skill to play. This champion's brain dead easy. Like people are just first timing her and be like, "Oh yeah, just press this button and I win the game." She's a flex mid top support. Like she's better solo laner than I anticipated. She's definitely really strong as a mid and top pick. Like you can't like if they first pick Janna, you have to respect the flex power more so than I thought you would. But like it's actually really strong as a solo laner. Supports are just giga broken. This is an 80 carry patch, and 80 carries are OP, so supports are OP because if you support the 80 carry carries, and the support's OP because it makes the 80 carry not die. Or passive being global makes it so you can out macro everyone. You rotate faster. You get to do stuff that you normally can't. You get away with stuff you shouldn't. You get kills you shouldn't, and you impact lane that normally would be a close matchup. But nope, you have Janna. You won the lane. So yeah, global passive is really toxic, really unfun to play against, but very fun to have on your team. So yeah, I think that's why you should always try to prioritize her as a pick. She does way too much damage when she build her AP, like W, Lich Bane, DFG, Rabidons. In the Q does a lot of damage even if you don't fully charge it. And she still has like insane utility. She has a shield, she has a yield, she has a slow, she has a knockback, knock up. Like, and the nerf is a fucking nothing burger, like -2 AD that does fucking nothing. And the mana nerf, like I guess, but they're just not like that's actually not even good because they're just gonna keep rank one ult at level 11, and they're gonna get more points into their W or their shield or their tornado, so they're gonna do even more damage. Like the only downside of this hero is that if it's an e-girl champ, so if you play her, people will question your masculinity. That could be a problem for some people. She doesn't really 1v9, like people won't think she's OP because she doesn't 1v9, but she completely ruins people's games and makes them hate the game. She should probably be 100 ban rate. Like we don't have enough bans honestly, but like she should be 100% ban rate. She's too easy to play and she's way too flexible. So number two, Janna +2 from the last rating. Number three, we have Lee Sin, who I rated perfectly apparently, +0. He's still the same old good old Lee Sin, does everything. He's a burst, a tank, mage, support, AD carry, does everything. It's way too much utility, and I didn't realize at the time his ultimate has the fucking corpse knockback from modern league. So if you kill someone with your ult, the corpse still knockback and hits people. Like that was never in the game. Uh, he's really strong top. I think he's probably the best top laner in the game now. He's good mid. He's probably the best jungler in the game now. Yeah, because Karner got nerfed. Well, more like fixed. And their data's a joke. Like I said, like their data is a complete joke. Lee Sin's kind of hard to play, so he's never gonna. He's never. I don't know. I said drop one spot. He didn't drop one spot. But like he's kind of hard to play, so he's never gonna get nerfed because their dad is a joke. I'm like, oh, the troglodytes in fucking piss low elo or have a 48% win rate on Lee Sin because they're fucking maxing Q and missing all of them. Guess he's not OP. And even Pobelter said Lee Sin's OP, and Freak was like, okay, bro, whatever you say, bro. So yeah, and Falcon, like Diamond, washed up player who plays like arena ended Rosh Frog's a professional perennial challenger player's career with this champion. Literally got him to uninstall League, get banned on League from raging, and nuke his Twitch channel. So Lee Sin, not only does he ruin games, he ruins careers. So yeah, he's basically only downside is he's really hard to play effectively. You should be 100% ban rate, but no, I don't think you should ban him in solo queue because people are not that good in most games. But yeah, Champ's fucking OP. So Lee Sin number three. Number four, we're predicting. We haven't really seen Shen, but this is the season three World Shen with 95% pick ban, and he's very easy to play. This champion doesn't really take too much skill. Yes, these are energy champs, but his energy resource management is a nothing burger. You just press Q and W on cooldown. The only problem you're gonna have with energy is if you miss your taunt. If you miss your taunt, you'll actually suck. But I mean, it's pretty easy to hit. There's not that many mobile heroes. He has so many good items like 20% Visage, OP Tournmail, good Randuins, Wits End is cheap against AP, Ionic Spark is cheap, 40 damage Sunfire. Like, he will basically be guaranteed the best top laner by default now. Except maybe Lee Sin can beat him. Like, I think maybe Olaf and Lee Sin can maybe beat him, but like, he's gonna be like good against pretty much everyone. Even against like Lee Sin, like I mentioned, like you're probably just gonna go even. Like you're not gonna lose. And a lot of people are playing Pantheon and Gangplank top, and he shits on them. Like he just shields their poke and out sustains them. And then once you get Sunfire, they're done. Their lane's over. So yeah, he scales well. He's a safe laner. He has good hard CC, which is really hard to come by sometimes, and you need that for certain champions to counter them. And yeah, this biggest counter from that era was Vladimir, and he's not in the game, so have fun with that. Pick your Pantheon as a counter, but like against Pantheon, your ultimate, you can match him. That's crazy. You can't ever roam. The only downside is ultimate has a really long cooldown, so there's like a window that can punish you. Uh, but like 20% CDR Visage, like just get Visage, your CD is gonna be fine. Jungle Clear is dog shit. Don't play as champion jungler. I think he's purely a top laner. Maybe he can be played support, but I don't think this champion has flexing power. He his jungle clear is really bad, and his ganks aren't as good as you would think, and his damage output early game isn't that good. So I don't play him jungle. Just play him top. And downside is they have no wave clear until Sunfire or Ionic Spark, so some champion can just push him in and like kind of ignore him in lane, but he kind of just outscales you in most games. And he split pushes without TP. It's really strong hero. With the data we have from like pro play and even solo queue back then, he was a really common ban. Really strong in solo queue, really strong competitive. I think this by default the best top laner to pick now. So I put him at number four. Number five we have Lulu. I got. Can I find her? Am I stupid? All right, here you go. Lulu up four spots. I put her at nine. Now she's fifth. Same situation as Janna. Like champion enables half the roster, prevents the other half from playing. She takes no skill, flex power. It's literally yeah, I could repeat everything I said about Janna It's the same thing. It's literally the same hero. The only difference between her and Janna is that A, she didn't get nerfed, which is kind of shocking to me. I think she's OP as fuck, and she's probably gonna start getting banned next patch a lot because people are catching on that she's OP as fuck, and
Y'all trying to play or what?
she does way more damage than Janna, and she does, but her downside is she doesn't have a global passive, so she's not gonna make Singe lose lane because she exists, you know. But she's OP as fuck, and we don't have enough bans, so we can't even ban her. She's also a bit more mana star and blue reliant than Janna, so that's why I'm putting her lower than Janna. But like she's basically the same hero, does the same thing, is still as toxic. I'm shocked they didn't nerf her, especially for how easy she is to play. And yeah, she can't really 1v9, but yeah, she makes people hate the game and quit. So that's why she's number 5. Number 6, Ari. I don't really change her. She's the best mid laner, best mage. You can just pick her blind. Her roaming's really strong. Like crazy wave clear. She doesn't get poked out of lane because spell vamp plus AoE Q is crazy. I'm kind of shocked she didn't get nerfed. Again, Paul Belter was saying Ari's OP, and Right Freak was like, "Okay, bro, like it's not like they're dead as a joke." Obviously, I can't put her that high because she takes a lot of skill. A little bit like Lee Sin, she's never gonna get nerfed because she has skill shots. If you miss your charm, you're pretty useless, and that's why she's gonna stay probably the best mid laner in the game. Also, lots of furry and cosplay sims and shit's gonna be. She's like super popular, so there's like no chance they ever nerf her, just because of the marketing bullshit. So yeah, but not many people are playing her, which is kind of surprising. I guess it's because her kit's basically the same, but like she's OP. Like if you're first picking mid and you absolutely want to first pick mid because you want to get like a counter pick top and jungle, you just first pick Ari. It's always gonna be good. And even like her bad matchup, she can just farm. It doesn't matter. So yeah, but number 6 Ari. Number 7 Evelyn. For Evelyn, I mean we've noticed this, but like modern players don't know what a pink ward is. Like it's actually crazy. Every time I play Evelyn, people are like warding their tri brush with a regular trinket ward, and they're like, "Yes, this ward will protect me from Evelyn ganking me," and it never happens. No one goes deep into the jungle to ward against her for some reason. So like they don't see her doing a camp, so they don't know where she is. Uh, I've coined the Seb invade strategy where you do blue buff and you go straight to the enemy raid camp, and then you do their red and then you kill them because people are doing their jungle path inefficiently. There's the redditor jungle path, which is where they do blue, white, and wolves, and by the time they're done with wolves, you've already killed their red buff. So by the time they get to the raid camp, you're level 3 with double buff, and they're level 2, so you just kill them and they can't do anything about it if they do that path. So our invade is crazy strong against bad players. Even against like good players, you could probably still pull it off if they do that path, but I think good players are not gonna take the white camp. She can be played mid, but I think she's just way better as a jungler. The hero can build literally item in the game. Like I've been building so many weird builds on her. I went Golem, I went Lizard, I went Wraith. I think Lizard's the best, but Golem is definitely playable. Uh, you can build like Frozen Heart, like off tank. You can build Abyssal. You can build full AP with DFG deck cap. It doesn't matter. You can build whatever fuck you want. That champion uses every item in the game. Though I would say that Gunblade is probably the worst item I've seen people build on her. It's not good. It's too expensive. I'm shocked she didn't get nerfed because she's like really annoying to play against. And she's kind of a noob stomper at the same time. So I'm like, I don't know how this champion didn't get nerfed. If I had to nerf her, I would make her ultimate cooldown longer, and I would make the shield on it last 4 or 5 seconds. Maybe make it scale with levels, like level 1's like 3, level 2, 4, level 3, 5. Because like 6 seconds at every level is pretty absurd. And she probably needs her W nerf because there's not that much CC in the game, and having slow immunity is pretty stupid. So yeah, but yeah, this hero's like really strong, and she's not that hard to play. Like you just have to play it differently. Downside, she's like her mana pool kind of sucks. You will often run out of mana in long fights, but you know, most of the time you're just killing them with your ult and Q and E. She's better in solo queue for sure. I think some coordinated play you can screw her level one. She's really bad without blue level one, so if you can take her blue, she's gonna have a hard time clearing. And yeah, ultimate can be a problem on the cooldown. That's why if you nerf it even more, it's gonna be an actual problem. Because if she uses her ult with blue, or she has a Kindle gem or Fetish Codex when she uses it, it's fine. But if you force her to use ultimate without those things, it's definitely bad. It's the cooldown is really bad. You feel it. Pink wards, yeah, pink wards just definitely ruin our flanking potential. But pink wards are expensive, and nobody are buying them. So yeah, but it feels like shit playing against her. So I don't know why she's not getting nerfed. So she stays at number seven, didn't move a spot. Number eight, we have Zillion, and this is like another reason why I hate global passive. Like level two off the wave, first wave, so you win lane. Buff to buff, you get level three with utility tree, so you can do some weird jungle paths. It's a really safe blind pick, just like Ari. You can blind pick him into anything. Like you just press this Q and he one shots the wave. It does way too much damage, and it has no counterplay. It has a lot of range too. He's very mobile. He can roam. He enables his teammates to do stuff. He ruins the enemy team's ability to make plays. Another champion that Pull Belter said was OP that Freak laughed at. So yeah, he dodged the nerf hammer. I don't think he's gonna get nerfed too, but I really hope he gets nerfed because he's really annoying to play against. And people are catching on that he's OP. So like the only thing you can really do against him is like silences. Like if you can silence him and burst him with like Malzahar or something, or I mean, it's really just Malzahar or Kassadin, but Kassadin fucking sucks. So yeah, like if you can silence him and kill him, or CC him and kill him, sure. But like good players are just gonna not get caught out like that most of the time. Benchiesville are really good against him, but like that's a pretty big investment to make a champion not one shot you. I guess for how much utility he has, he does way too much damage. So yeah, and you can build like I was watching Skara play him last night against Ashley, and he literally went like Dorn's ring into tier, and his double Q is one shotting the wave and doing like half the other champion's health, even the jungler's health. It's like he doesn't even have a damage item, and he's doing half the health in like QWQ. So yeah, I, if there were more bans, I'd ban this hero more often. Like he's really annoying. So that's why he's number nine, number eight. I mean, +4. Really stupid hero. Number nine is Tristana. She's the best AD carry in the game, and it's not even close right now. And she's also a top laner, and she's also a mid laner. You can play her anywhere. She has self peel. She has high range. She's mobile. She outscales pretty much every AD carry. Supports her OP, so she gets to do whatever fuck she wants. She has Grievous Wound built into her kit, so like champions with healing, like Mundo, Akali, like even like Soraka, they can't do anything. You can yeah, like I said, you can send her mid, and Brookie insists that she's the best top laner in the game. It's real. She's the best top laner in the game, chat. She has like crazy laning, and the only really downside with this hero is that our mid game is kind of shit. Like once you get like your first item, like let's say you go Shiv first. That was like the meta build back then. You kind of feel the weakness of the mid game until you get your IE. But like Janna and Lulu are so OP that they made your mid game feel fine. So yeah, and another issue is mana costs. And I would add another issue is their E passive, but like mana costs, I've seen a lot of time people have run out of mana when they have to reset on their W and they die because of it, and that's really funny. So mana cost definitely a problem. If I had another weakness is the E passive makes it impossible to freeze on this hero. So if you want to freeze the wave, it's impossible on this champion, and it makes it so you're basically always pushing, even though you don't want to push, and it makes it so sometimes you can screw up some CS. So that's one downside. That's impossible to deal with. It's like it just happens from the champion existing. But she's still the best AD carry. Every time I see Tristana, she pops off, and I don't really see many heroes being able to deal with her. She has too much mobility and self peel, good range, good laning. So yeah, best AD carry. She goes up 5 spot from the last rating. Number 10, we have Morgana. Honestly, Morgana is kind of like the same spot I put her. I think the only reason she went up is because other heroes went lower. She's another one of these champions that takes no skill to lane with. Like you just press W, you one shot the back line, and you get spell vamp from it, so you never get poked out of lane. You can basically lane against anyone, and you can even send her in like 1v2 lane situations. Like if you're like you pick Morgana and they pick Cassidy into it, and you're like, you know what, fuck that Cassidy. Let's just send her bot lane, mid lane, and send Morgana bot. Well, Morgana's gonna be able to farm, Cassidy won't, so yeah, Black Shield is even stronger than I already thought. Like I said, it was the best shield in the game, but like it's actually just even crazier than that. Like you can basically make champions unplayable. Like you ruin their entire kit just with that shield. Especially like art CC champs like Skarners, like suppress champs. It's really annoying. Even like Blitzcrank, you block her pull. Leona, you block all your CC. You can block Fiddlestick Sphere, like it's really, really, really strong. And you put that thing on like a hyper carry, and that guy's like unkillable. He's actually like you can't CC him, and the AP ratio is really high. So if you're playing Morgana mid, good luck breaking that shield, and it lasts really long. Yeah, support's OP. She's low range, like the auto attack range is not good, so like against melee champs, it feels like you can't really punish them with your auto attacks. Kind of sucks. And you need to land bindings, like and minions can block them, so early kill pressure can be feel a little bit weak. But if you land the bindings, her kill pressure is really good. Another problem is that she can't really do much against disengaged champs, but you ban Janna, right? So you don't have to deal with that, right? So if you ban Janna, she doesn't really have to deal with it. I guess maybe Tristana would like disengage champs really can screw up, especially if you're like using Black Shield to protect someone else instead of yourself. It's a pretty big downside using on yourself. Because like what you want to do on this hero is just use your ultimate to control the team fight and then Zanya's. So if you're black shielding yourself to set that up, you're not black shielding your carry. Like so yeah. Still, that's not really that much of a weakness. Like when you have a 3 second root and a 2 second stun, like she's one of the safest mid laners in the game as well. Like every mid laners that are up there are just safe. Like there's no bad lanes. You can't fuck it up. That's why Gragas is number 11 because he's also a really safe mid laner. I can lane into anything. The QR combo like is ridiculous. It deals so much damage, and you don't even have to use the knockback. Like if you just QR the enemy team and hit 4 people, that's like 6,000 damage to the enemy team. Like it's ridiculous. It does so much damage. You can just use it to poke because the cooldown isn't even that high. It's despite being a morbidly obese fat man, he's extremely mobile and he has built-in sustain. So it's really hard to push him out of lane, really hard to gank him. He has damage reduction, so he's really hard to kill. He doesn't even have to build defensive items to feel tanky, though most people build shoe shays on him, and that makes him pretty tanky. Great wave clear, you don't have to do anything, you just press Q, one shot the wave. And that Q has an attack speed slow for some reason, which is OP because AD carries are OP. His roaming is one of the best, like Ari, like really strong roamer, he can engage, can disengage. He's also kind of hard to play, so Radha's data is a joke. They're never gonna nerf him because people suck at the game. Their data's made from shit tier elo games, so he's never gonna get nerfed. So congratulations, Infinix, your champion's never getting nerfed. Downside, well, you can always kill yourself by drinking alcohol. That's always a downside, and his dash can get blocked. That's also something that can happen. But that if you get your dash blocked, that's kind of on you, or you got outplayed, so can't be too mad about that. So with that, he's S tier. I kind of underrated him. I kind of thought he was like a good mid laner, not OP one, but no, nah, he's OP. This champion's just OP. He has too many good items. Very mobile. Does you can blind pick him. Like it's not really a situation where you're gonna be like, yeah, I don't know why we picked Gragas. He's always a good pick. So number 11, Gragas. Number 12, Kog'Maw. We've really noticed that's the 80 carry patch, so 80 carries have gone up a lot. But the redacted build, we're not saying what it is. You should have listened earlier. It's crazy on him. It's cheap. It lets him spike earlier, and it makes him tanky because you get a lot of L from the build. You can get MR from the build, and you are really hard to kill. And it gives you utility. You can like slow people. It's really stupid. That build should probably get nerfed because those two items never existed together. So there's a reason they didn't exist together. He does early Barons probably the best of any AD carries. W lets him melt Baron. He can also build Triforce, and Triforce is also OP on range because Phage isn't half value on range champions. So all the AD carries that can build Phage are OP because they're super mobile just by Phage being OP. Yeah, he's immobile, but like supports can fix that for him, like Janna, Lulu, even Nunu, and I should say slash Phage fixes that because Phage is ridiculous. You get full value movement speed. You have Kog'Maw running around like 460 movement speed with like 2.5 attack speed. Like, okay, bro, his laning might not be the best, but if you like go even, you should always go come out ahead because redacted build is OP and Trinity Force is really good on him. You make use of the Sheen, you move so fast. A little bit expensive, but with the two other items being so cheap, it is pretty good. Probably better than crit build. But he's kind of like the only hero that can do that. So I think he's like second best AD carry because he's a little bit harder to play than Tristana. But yeah, he's really strong. You can also play mid as AP, but I don't think that build's that good. I think he's really good as AD carry. So now for A tier, like this is some strong picks. They're really strong picks. You normally don't ban this champions, but they're some situation they're gonna be overpowered and even better than some of the S tier champs. But most of the time, these are just solid, reliable picks you can't really mess up with. And to open up A tier, who else but Amumu? This guy wins the award for buff for no reason award because why the fuck did he get buff? He was already a good champion, but apparently Riot said that he's dog shit because their data's a joke. Even though he's easy to play, he's an easy champion to play, and he had shit win rate. Like how bad are modern players? These are not humans. He's probably the best engaged in the game. Like you land your Q, and then you can ult like four people, and they're snared. They can't do anything. You kill them. His W's percent health damage. He's good for early barons. Even if you build full tank, he does a lot of damage. He's got percent health. His Q has a really high base damage. His E is very spammable. His ultimate has good base damage, and he shreds MR, which makes it really good against squishy people. And he enables like mage comps, like and even redacted build Kongma to do a lot of good damage because, like, even AD carries like they're even if with a runic bulwark and fat MR runes, they're gonna have like 60 MR or something. So you're shredding half that MR when you auto them. Like that's ridiculous. The damage on the Q is like 320 now, so you put 3 points in E and then you max Q. And you get some flat penetration with your auto attacks and shredding MR. You're gonna do so much damage. One thing that really helps him is that J4 got nerfed for some reason, so like he's kind of like the go-to tank jungler kind of now because J4 got nerfed. Mumu kind of goes up a tier because they're competing for the same role, and I think with him getting buffed and Jarvan getting nerfed, that makes him better than Jarvan now. He still has like a really weak level one, and he kind of needs blue to clear, especially early. So like he still has the same weakness. If you invade him early, it's pretty bad, especially if you steal his buff or kill him. And a little bit like Evelyn, his ultimate cooldown is really long, but it's even worse. So if you use your ultimate without CDR, it's gonna feel miserable. So that's something you can punish against a Mumu. But otherwise, I think he's gonna be like one of the better junglers in next patch. I would if he doesn't have crazy win rate next patch, I'm gonna be shocked because like all two of his opponents got nerfed and he got buffed. So yeah, I'm gonna put him at top of A tier for that reason. He's gone up what 14 spots. Yeah, I had him like B tier, now he's in A tier. Pretty good bump. And for no reason, his champion's already good. I played him a couple of times. He feels good. I don't think he needed those buffs, but whatever, I'll take them. 14, we have Skarner. And honestly, like, Skarner was fine. If he didn't even receive the buffs he got, like, he got buffed for no reason. Like, another buff for no reason award. He got buffed for no reason. He was already like an A tier jungler after the Q fix, but apparently their data said he was dog shit, just like a Mumu, so their data's worthless. I mean, he doesn't have Frozen Mal and Wits End at level 1 anymore, so that's a pretty big odd fix, but like, he's still one of the best junglers. He clears really well. He's good at early dueling, so you can't really invade him. He's really good in front line. His engage is really good, especially like forcing people to build QSS, which is something nobody wants to do, is really powerful. Like you delay an item, and even if like if you're not doing well, you can just like go on a low budget build and just aura max, go runic bulwark plus locket or frozen heart. You don't really have to build damage on him to be useful. He's kind of like Jarvan in that sense. But if you build like 380 force on him when you're fed, he does a lot of damage. Real downside, like the only downside I can think of is that like he's really shit against Janna. Like Janna can just ruin your game. So ban her, please. If you don't, you're an idiot. So Skarner's down 13 spots, but that's mostly because of a bug fix, not because the champion was bad. 15, we have Corki. Corki is another Trinity 80 carry, so he's never gonna have a bad back. Phage is OP on range because it's not halved. And he's a good flex pick. I've seen Corki mid, it works pretty well. It has prio in basically every lane. It makes invading with him really like if you're playing jungle and you have a Corki mid and they're doing Predator Pat, you go invade that jungler. They can't do anything about it, man. He's got mixed damage, which is what makes him really strong. He's magic, physical, and true damage. Really hard to itemize against. Like I'm kind of a broken record, but like 80 carries and supports are OP on this patch, so they're always going to be I tier in my book, and there always should be priority picks for your team comp because every team comp should be building around the OP 80 carry and what you can pick to support them. So Corki, really strong laner. He's probably the best laner 80 carry right now. There's not like any 80 carry can trade with him. The only problem is his mana costs are pretty bad, and he needs to hit his abilities. He doesn't have any air tick speed steroid like Kog'Maw or Tristana, so his damage might not be as good late game, but like he still does a shit ton of damage, especially mid game. And another downside is relatively short range. Like except for his ultimate, everything's kind of just in your face. But he does so much damage, and a lot of it is burst, and it's mixed, so he's still really strong. Probably like every carry that I've listed so far are like safe picks. You can just pick them whenever, but you need like he doesn't need like Kog'Maw might need a Janna or a Lulu to make them feel safe, but Corki doesn't. Like he's basically you can pick him with whatever support. I think like a really strong combo is like Corki plus Fiddlesticks support, because Corki does a lot of magic damage and Fiddlesticks shreds MR naturally. So and you can set up the CC. So I think you get a lot of burst and you can really destroy some people with that combo. I would recommend trying that one out. Number 16, we have Tryndamere. I mean, he got nerfed pretty badly, but he's still gonna be good. He was the most OP champion in the game, apparently, which kind of makes sense. Like, he was like insane top, insane mid, insane jungle. He's still an overstated mess. Like his base HP is really high. He's still a really strong mid laner. With Nashor Stew being so OP on him, he's still gonna be a good champion. He's just his early game won't be as good, and you won't have as much mobility later in the game because his cooldown, his E got increased at all stages. So that's a pretty big nerf. But like, he's really easy to play. He's a really good late game damage wise. He takes no skill. He's good. He's still gonna be a good laner because he's got sustain. He's got an 80 steroid. He's got an 80 like he lowers the opponent's AD. He's got mobility, so he's still gonna be a really good laner. But he's not gonna be like the best every game, first pick every time. He's still weak to kiting and like seriously, just ban Janna. Fuck that champion. But yeah, I think he's not S tier anymore, but like he's still a really good pick. So I would put him in A tier at number 16. He's down 14 spots, but like when you get nerfed that badly, it's bound to happen. But I like that they nerfed him in a way that doesn't make him unplayable. He's still going to be a good pick. For 17, we have Kartus. Kartus is down 2 spots, and that's nothing to do with him. It's just that champions got buffed or champions got added that are better than him. So he doesn't change in my opinion. I think I rated him fairly. He's a good flex pick. He can jungle top and mid. I haven't really seen him play bot mage, but I think it's doable, but I wouldn't do it. I don't recommend it. What's really good about him is like you can wave clear in 1v2 lanes, and I think people are gonna catch on that 2v1 lane 0p, and you can't do anything on certain champions against them. So having champions that are good into it against champions that can't do anything into it lets you give some flexibility as how to play your level 1 lane matchups, and that you could really just win a game because you said, okay, Kartus, you're going bot. And for that reason, we won the game because their top laner didn't get to play the game. Well, Kartus actually got XP in gold and actually defended his tower pretty well. He still has like that kill pressure without leaving lanes, so he can have impact in side lanes without roaming, which is very powerful because a lot of the mid laners right now, like that are really strong, like Ari, Gragas, even Zillion, are really strong at roaming. So being able to match roams without actually roaming is pretty strong. So I think for that reason, that makes him a really strong as a mid laner. He's still a monster in team fights. His AoE damage is crazy. He does really good Barons. If you have Kartus and you get an ace at 15 minutes, you should rush Baron. You can do it so easily. There's a bug with Roa, so I guess if you're a Roa hero like him, you can infinitely scale your Roa. I'm not gonna tell you how to do it, but you can do it. The problem is, like I mentioned, like it takes time to ramp up. Like I said in the last tier list, it takes time to ramp up because he is a Roa champion and needs item to do damage. And his first level ultimate isn't that good. He really gets going after level 11. And he's immobile, and the kamikaze playstyle can backfire pretty badly. You can have Reginald situations where you're 2 towers deep and you die and your team loses, and then you blame Wild Turtle for it. But yeah, he's a solid pick. If you're good at him, you can play him like basically any role, and that's what makes him like a good solo queue champion, but also good and competitive. Number 18, I'm gonna put Alistar. I think he's not as good as I anticipated. He's still good, but and he also got a small buff. But like the Trinity ship build is like I still think it's a good build, but like the W headbutt is not reliable. It feels like it is bugged. It's inconsistent, and a lot of time you headbutt and it doesn't go off, and it has nothing to do with like you misplaying. It just doesn't work half the time. Unfortunately, a small indie company is incapable of replicating what 2 guys in a shed can do, which is make headbutt auto attack work with no issues. It's crazy what 2 guys in a shed can do. But he still has like great gank setup. If you invade with him, like we've all seen the M5 invades. He's really strong at that. He's good at engaging. He takes a lot of damage without taking damage because his ultimate is crazy strong and he there's not much true damage in the game. The mana cost is really what keeps him down though, because like the Q and W mana costs are really bad. It's like worse than I originally thought. So his laning isn't that good as a result of that, and without Sheen, your poke isn't that good and it's not reliable. But like he's still gonna be really strong mid to late game because of his engage and his damage, his tankiness. The E buff is like an absolute nothing burger. Like maybe it makes him better as a support, but like that change does nothing to me. It doesn't like I think the reason he went down is because of the inconsistencies with W and the mana cost being terrible. So he's in a good spot. He's still a really good hero. He's just not OP as I anticipated. But in some comps, he can be really strong. But yeah, I feel confident putting him in middle of A tier at number 18, down 10 spot though. But yeah. Number 19, Katarina. She got a small nerf, but I don't think that nerf matters that much. Like, Dart Shield's so OP, she doesn't even, like, lose lane. Because she, like, you can go, like, 17, 13 defense, and you don't take damage from autos. She's a win condition by herself. Like, if you're against a team with no CC, it feels like you can just face your art carry. You can play her top, like, the tank Magic Pen Sunfire build is really strong. I've seen it. It works. It's not a meme build. It feels really unfun to play against if it gets going because she's so sticky. She has a lot of flat damage and she never gets off you because she has a movement speed buff and a dash. And you can't kill her. And if you use CC on her, you can't feel bad because she's not damaged. She's tank. So yeah, but the DFG rush build can like one shot people and then you go crazy with the resets. The ultimate might affect you, especially in the tank build, but like I don't think it's gonna matter that much. It's definitely put her down a little bit, but like I don't think that moves the needle much for me. I think she still has like good enough lane, good enough roam, good enough team fight potential, and just being like a win condition by yourself is pretty powerful. Especially with Amumu getting buffed and becoming potentially a common jungle pick. If you have Amumu engaging for you and soaking the attention, she can really go in and really pop off and do crazy stuff. Especially with the MR shred from Amumu, like Amumu with Abyssal MR shred, she's gonna be one-shotting people. She's gonna be doing true damage to them, even with Bulwark. So yeah, but a downside is obviously like if you're against a lot of hard CC that's point and click, you're gonna have a hard time, and she kind of sucks from behind, playing from behind. She kind of needs her team to set up stuff for her a bit. And if your team's behind, it feels like you're never gonna get reset. So that's why I would put her as a situationally overpowered and overall just strong. Number 20, Ezreal. I used to think it was the best AD carry in the game, and then I saw everyone go blue build. But for real though, like his attack speed slow is still nuts, but people aren't very consistent at landing it. It seems, and there's a lot of the AD carries that are strong are good at dodging it, either by having mobility or having Trinity. And Trinity is a OP item, and he builds it, so that is a buff. But people are stupid. They're still doing the blue build. Blue build sucks. Stop doing it. He's very mobile. Like he's with Phage being so strong, he moves really fast. He's got dash that's really cool cooldown. Only thing I feel like is that even with like supports that are OP, he doesn't really do that much damage. Maybe it's because people are landing his skill shots, and also apparently his base ED was bugged. That was in the patch note. Like I never noticed that. Maybe that's why he doesn't do that much damage. Maybe like his base damage is bugged, and this that makes his Trinity procs not do that much damage. And once they fix that, he's gonna do crazy damage. I don't know, but like I never really see him carry 1v9 like other carries. It just feels like they're just being poke. They just poke and they get they can like finish off people that are low, but they never have like that those crazy 1v9 situation where they just carry the game by themselves. He's definitely weaker than Corki in lane, so like Corki's probably a better pick if you're gonna use an AD carry with that builds Trinity. And Corki's easier to play, so I would put him behind Corki for that reason. Tier Manimune is shit. Stop doing it. I don't care that like it feels good because you suck at managing your mana. Just get good at the game, get good at managing your mana, and build real items. And then maybe you'll go back to S tier. But for now, people are just shit the game and can't. They all do the blue build and it sucks. So that's why I have to put him down by 15 spots. Number 21, we have Sona. And a little bit like Kartus, she doesn't really go down because she's weaker or something. It's more that other champions got buffed or added that makes her go lower. For support, she's probably the best laner. Like she bullies the shit out of people. You see her 1v2 lanes by herself because her damage early is so crazy, and she has sustain, so it feels really unfun to play against a really good Sona in lane. You really hate your life. You always have the Chalister approved flash ultimates. She has engaged potential. With Lulu and Janna being so powerful, if they become common bans, she's gonna be like the go-to support pick after that because she does really well against basically everyone in lane. Our passive is like always a mini exhaust now for some reason. Like even if you're doing the Q passive, it's still exhaust, I think. I haven't really tested, but feels I think that's what it does now. And if that's the case, that's like kind of stupid, but sure. The Q auto doesn't feel consistent. Like another thing where two guys in the shed are better than fucking small indie company. She's, yeah, she's super squishy. That's their main downside. So if she goes out to ward and she gets got, it's a pretty much a free kill, and that's kind of why I made Jana and Lulu are better because if they go to ward and they get caught, they have so much bullshit that they can get out, while Sona won't be able to do that. And also, she doesn't really buff the AD carry that much. She's really just there to snowball lane. If she doesn't win lane hard, she's not gonna be as good as some other enchanters. Like all she gives is like an AD and AP aura, which is okay, but it's not as good as like what Lulu and Janna enables their AD carry to do. So she can't really be S tier for that reason, but she's still a really solid support pick. And I think I had her placed at a good spot at 19. She goes down not because of her power, but because of other champions being changed. Nasus, same situation. I don't think I think I rated him perfectly. It's just other champions got buffed. The Wither is just is crazy strong. Nobody's going cleanse and nobody's building QSS on ADC. So Wither just ruins their day. People are gonna start catching on maybe, but like until they start figuring out that they can go cleanse, it's Wither is just insane. The Meteos approved dragon, like nobody's doing anything about it. You just walk up to it with pink ward, you get it. I've maybe been stopped like once or twice in like 15 attempts. Like it, nobody ever does anything about it. It was probably better than I anticipated as a top laner. I kind of rated him as a jungler, and I still kind of do, because he got nerfs, and the nerfs affects his lane way more than jungle. Like losing lifesteal doesn't really matter in jungle. He was still really healthy in his clear, and that loss of lifesteal will affect his health in the clear, but not as much as it will affect his lane sustain. And the W mana nerf is a much bigger lane nerf because you're not using your W to clear the jungle. So it doesn't affect your clear, it only affects you like mid to late game when you're pressing W often. But for lane, you kind of have to use W to trade sometimes, and that's gonna make his laning a lot worse. But for jungle, that doesn't really do anything. So that doesn't move the needle for me, and he's still got the same weaknesses. He's very immobile, and he's weak early. Level 1 to 4, it feels like he's a little bit weak, but like those nerfs don't really change him. He's still a really solid champion. Maybe a little bit worse top, but for jungle, still really solid pick. Number 23, we have Rise. I don't really think I changed him much. Pretty much same position. He's still a late game hyper win carry situation. He can be flex top. A lot of people are playing him top. I've noticed. What's really good about him is he's really tanky. He builds Frozen Heart, Abyssal, Roa, so it's really hard to kill him. And he has Spell Vamp, and he's point and click, so he's the type of champion you don't outskill. You have to outstrategy him. So that's why you have to abuse his weaknesses. He's very short range. He has no mobility and he has no wave clear. At least early he doesn't. So you have to play to those weaknesses if you're gonna beat him. Otherwise, if he gets to late game, he's gonna win the game by himself sometimes. He also has the infinite roar bug, which is funny, but like hopefully that gets patched because that's stupid. But yeah, like just a solid mid pick. Probably not as good as the S tier one because his roaming isn't that good. He can't really push waves early, so he's gonna lose like tempo and prior. But like if you get the late game, he's gonna get crazy. So I think he's a really good champ. Number 24, just behind Rise in A tier. I'm gonna predict Kennen's gonna be an A tier champion. Why? Well, the redacted build should be good on him. Like especially if you go like you can play him AD carry and go that build. I think it's gonna be strong. You can also do it top lane and be like a split pusher. So I think that build's strong. But I think what's really gonna be strong is the double water comps. He's like Kennen in season two. They play like Kennen top or mid with Kartus mid or a they like doing like two mages, like mages top and mid, and they would go both go water, and it was ridiculously strong. That was like the meta for most of season two, and he was still picked in season three a lot with the exact same builds, basically. Though in season three, you would often just go full AP with Zanya's Abyssal Deck Cap, Void Staff, and he would be crazy. And what's really good about him is that he's one of the few mages in the game that's like a reliable engage tool. Like most mages, like they have pick potential, but Cannon is like one of those few mages that can actually just go in and engage, which is kind of powerful to have on a mage. You can, like I said, you can build him AD and be a split pusher. You can be an AP AoE mage, so that makes him a flexible pick in like the draft. A lot of his bad lanes, especially like Irelia and York, aren't in the game. So, like if you play him top, there's not many going to be that many champions that are going to be able to lane against him and have a good time. So that makes him a lot stronger as a top laner right now, in my opinion. He has good items, like I said, Wodo, Zanya's Abyssal. He's really tanky, even if he doesn't build like that many tank items, because he gets 50 armor and MR on his E. So that's really, really powerful in terms of defenses. He also, even if you go him, if you build him AP, you can still start Dorn's Blade or even Dorn's Shield, because he doesn't need mana, so he doesn't have to start Dorn's Ring. And that makes him an even stronger laner. And yeah, a bit downside is he's really short ranged, and he doesn't have wake clear unless you E into the wave, but you can't really do that during a siege. So that's a pretty big downside. And I'll mention it again. You seriously forgot the Banjana? Well, now you can't engage. Get fucked, idiot. Banjana. Number 25, Nidalee. Another champion that I think I rated fairly well. I, I recently rewatched IPL 5 M5 against TPA, and Stanley fucking destroyed M5. Wasn't even fair. So like this champion can definitely ruin games for people. I don't think there's that many top laners that can beat her. Like maybe Nasus if he gets some stack, but like you bully him so hard early game, especially with the nerf he just got, you're gonna beat him. Nah, Shen doesn't beat her. He has to play like super aggro with his E, and he'll just get ganked. Lee Sin might, like Lee Sin can deal with her, but like you reach a point where you get Trinity and you can kind of just scrap with him. Yeah, so I think top lane she's really strong. She is also strong as a mid laner because she has really good poke, and so she's a OP, like supports her OP. So like having an attack speed steroid on her AD carry is ridiculous. Like I meant, like it's a 60% steroid for 7 seconds. So like with AD carries being so strong, she is good to have for that reason. Her W is basically Trundle Ultimate, 40% shred for 12 seconds. That's ridiculous. It's hilarious, but it is ridiculous. Downside is because like the why she's not S tier because like she can also roam really well, but the problem is she has no wave clear and she's hard to play and she has no CC. A lot of those S tier champions they have hard CC. Not having any art CC is a pretty big detriment. So you have to make up that lack of CC in another role. So that's why I don't think she's like a S tier pick, but in some situation in certain comps, she can be really, really strong because nobody can deal with her in a 1v1 split push situation as AD, or you can never engage on her, and she pokes you to death in sieges with AP builds. So very versatile champion, but you have to pick the comps that fits for her. Otherwise, you'll just be useless. You can like I've seen some situation where we have AP Nidalee mid. She gets kind of ahead in the early mid game, but like late game, there's not enough peel, or the enemy team comp has too much engage, and we don't have enough disengage, so she never gets to do her thing. So she just dies, and nothing happens, and they lose the game. So not something you want to pick willy nilly every time, but still pretty strong. I realized I made a mistake. Vayne's 26, not 25th. And I think that means he's changed by 4, not 3. Vayne kind of fell down a little bit for me from an AD carry champion. She's still really strong, and she still has like all those things like the E auto, and she has OP supports helping her. But her lane is so bad, and she has no wave clear that I have a really hard time seeing her get there. Especially against like Corki, she just every time I see her against Corki, she just gets manhandled. It's not even fair. And pink people are like, if you build pink wars against her, it feels like she can't really do anything, and even like in team fights. Though with Trinity being OP, you might think she'd be good with Trinity, but she kind of wants to go Bork. Trinity doesn't have enough attack speed, but if you go like Bork Trinity, maybe that's really OP. I haven't seen anyone try it though. Until they nerf Phage, I could see it. Maybe you could just go Phage and be like super fast. Maybe that's actually the build. You go like Bork, Phage, Shiv. But I haven't seen anyone do it, so I can't really judge. But if it's actually good, she might go up. But yeah, I don't think she's as good as the other AD carries I've rated higher. For that reason, I can't really put her that high. But if you build around her and you have a good player on her, she can definitely solo carry a game. Number 27, I kind of missed the ball on that one. Blitzkrieg's a lot better than anticipated, but I don't think he's as OP as people say he is. He definitely changes how level 1 has to be played, which is a very big buff for your team and a very big annoyance for playing against him. With so many junglers being reliant on getting blue, you or having tempo to do stuff, being able to just go troll them level 1 by either stealing the buff and making it reset, or straight up just stealing the buff and killing it, or straight up just pulling the jungler, making him have to reset the buff, like in or just getting first blood or forcing flashes level 1. That's definitely something that's very powerful. And he's also very strong in 1v2 lane situation because once he has level 2, he has his knock up and his pull that does a lot of damage and he can zone really well. So yeah, reason why he's really strong is like his base damage are really high. They're getting nerfed a bit, but they're still really high. And the Moby boots are really like, Moby boots is probably the best item in the game right now. It lets you roam, and you don't really lose anything from roaming. Once you walk into a lane with Moby boots, they can't escape because you're going 100 movement speed faster than them. And then you can stick on them because you still have the 45 movement speed. So yeah, like I said, you can ruin a jungler's life. And even though if you can even be dog shit, miss all your hooks, but if you get like that one good hook, like game, you win the team fight, you win the game. Like I think that's why people don't like playing against him. I don't think nerfs are gonna do anything. You just lose a little bit of damage, but the cooldown changes are kind of nothing burger. His strengths are still the same. The W nerfs are really gonna hurt the crit clank stock, so sorry for all the crit clank jungle enjoyers. The build might be unplayable now. Yeah, you need good vision on this hero. Like if you're behind and you don't have vision, you can't really do anything on this champion. But when you're ahead and you have vision, the enemy team feels like it's really oppressive. So that's kind of like the double-edged sword. He's very feast or famine. So people like hate him because they remember all the games he completely bullied them in, but they kind of forget the games where he was just completely useless and then he pulled a moo and they lost the game because of it. So yeah, I think as a solid support, definitely works in some situation, but not OP. Number 28, Anivia. Pobelter said she's OP, and Freak said, "Lol, bro." So I think going off Pobelter, she's probably really strong. But the data says that she's not, so she's never gonna get nerfed. She might even get buffed. Who knows? I did watch TPA against M5 stall a game for 40 minutes in IPL 5 with this champion, so I can definitely see the PTSD of Anivia making games never end. That's kind of what makes her so good. The roster is immobile, so her wall is like really strong. If you get a good wall, you can basically kill anyone. They can't get out. Her CC is really strong. She disrupts fights really well. Her ultimate doing insta ticks is crazy. Also, the problem why I can't put her that high is that the mana situation on this champion is really bad. It's worse than I originally thought, and she really needs the second blue, and no one's giving it to her. And also, well, she's really hard to play. So, like, why would you work so hard for a champion that's so hard to play when you can just play a brain dead champion like Lulu that can be flexed in tree rolls? So, yeah, or Zillion. Like, just play the brain dead OP champions instead of. Unless, like, you're Froggen, like, you're not gonna make a Nivea as good as those champions in 99% of situations. So, she's really good, but she has all those things going against her that you have to be a good player to play her. You can't just be like a bad player and play her because you're not gonna be able to manage the mana. You're not gonna have a good time in lane, and you're not gonna do what makes her good. So that's why I have Raker in the lower bracket of A tier, pretty much the same spot. Like I said, like champions overtook her because of buffs or being added, like Kennen and Shen. Number 29, Wukong, still A tier by the way. He's a good engaged champ. He's a good flex pick mid, especially against like Kassadin. I've seen the matchup. It's not even fair. Like Kassadin just literally can't play the game. He has a really good clear. His ganks are really good for a jungler. And with Jarvan getting nerfed, it's kind of like a Mumu where Jarvan gets nerfed, so the tank junglers that are similar to him are better because they have a similar role and playstyle. The problem is that his buffs don't show in his clones, so the juking potential is really not there, especially early game. You didn't ban Janna, so you just got knocked back when you engage. Get fucked, idiot. Should have banned Janna. And like he doesn't have sustain and utility, so if you're playing if you're stuck in a siege situation, you can't engage. You feel pretty fucking useless. And he still needs to build damage to scale. Like he needs to go like Lizard, Cleaver, Last Whisper to do damage. And if he doesn't build those items, he's gonna feel squishy mid game. And that can be a problem when you're the front line of your team. But overall, he's like a pretty good champion. Like he's also pretty easy to play. I think he's a solid jungler. You can pick him pretty much like in solo queues. You can pick him jungle pretty much blind. You're gonna have a good time on this champion. But competitive, you can't pick him blindly. You're gonna get fucked by some champion that can disengage, or even like Lee Sin that can fuck you with the stealth reveal and invades and shit. But yeah, solid hero. And that's the end of A tier. Now we're going to B tier. These champions are like good. I wouldn't say they're great. They're not as strong as A tier, but in some situations, they are better than A tier champions. So these champions are mostly like counter picks or like very situational. You build a comp around them, or they're good into a specific comp situation. So if we're starting for B tier, we have Soraka, who also got a pretty big buff, so that's a bit of reason why she's going up by one. The MR aura is really good, especially against like 80 carries that go redacted build. They do a lot of magic damage, so getting MR is good. She shreds MR, and she's a good pusher, so if you have the redacted build 80 carry on your team, the MR shred's gonna be really good. The armor steroid got buff and it lasts longer, so it's gonna make the person she W's basically unkillable. And that's really annoying because like you'll try to burst someone, you're like, what the fuck? I do no damage. Well, they got W'd and they have like 150 armor instead of having like 40. So yeah, have fun with that. In the last 5 seconds, by the way. The silence is definitely OP. Like you max E on this champion and you silence someone, they feel like they ate their life. A little bit like Karthus, especially if a player in a no solo lane, the global ultimate lets you impact like ladder lanes and counter gank without being there. So having a global ultimate is always a very powerful tool. One downside is a lot of people are gonna max Q in solo lane with her, and I think that's kind of a nuke trap. The mana costs are terrible, so her damage isn't that good because your Q is a lot of her damage. But like, yeah, it's not ideal. You need some mana items. She's really immobile in short range, so you kind of need to build some defensive items, which might hurt her scaling damage. But you know, she still does a lot of damage, especially like over time because she starts shredding MR and has a really low cooldown on Q. I still think she sucks as a support. I rate her purely as a mid and top laner because as a support, you're not gonna be able to lane against Sona. You're gonna get bullied by like Leona or Blitzcrank, and you don't have as much utility as a Janna or a Lulu. So like, I don't think she's a good support pick. But as a solo laner, I think she's really good, especially in certain comps, especially like someone that like really gets fucked by her silence, like Katarina or like even Zillion. You can really mess his day with the silence. And being able to push relentlessly enables invades and stuff, so you can punish like weak early junglers. So I think she's a really solid B tier hero. And she's gone up one spot because of that. Pantheon. I kind of underestimated how broken the crits were, especially on E. So for that reason, he's up 6 spots. He's still a lane bully. He's got point and click stun. He's good at tower diving, and the flex potential is crazy. Like you can play him mid, you can play him top, you can play him jungle, you can play him support. Like some people are playing him 80 carry, especially when you have like this Chrono Shift special. You put Brookie on Tristana top, and you put Jared on Pantheon bot with the Kimchi special Scion support. That Scion Pantheon bot lane goes hard in the paint, dude. And then you have the Tristana top with 4 Dorn's Blade are carrying the game. It's fucking amazing. That's what Team Chrono Shift is all about. But yeah, this champion takes no skill to play. Like the only like if you start crystalline flask on this hero, you're already better than 80% of people play this champion. He has good itemization. Like all the armor pen items are good, and Randuin's is good on him if you want to like build against 80 carries. He has a semi global. which makes him good at roaming. Problem is he's really bad when he's behind, and you need to build damage to scale, which can lead to him being very squishy, especially in the mid game. So after like 3 or 4 items, it feels like he kind of falls off a bit. But if you're not facing Lulu, you're not facing Janna, you're gonna have a good time if you can use your ultimate and get to the backline properly. But uh, if they have good peel, it is pretty hard to play him. Like even against like Leona or even Tarek or even Soraka, they can really fuck your day up with like one form of CC. But if you manage to get your combo out, is E critting for 200% makes so like, if anyone gets into the 15% threshold, they're dead. So everyone in the enemy team has 80%, 85% life when Pantheon is live. It's like having a guaranteed 15% max out damage global. That's kind of OP, right? So as long as Pantheon exists and presses E in a team fight, if anyone's 15% or lower, they're instantly dead. So I think having like Calling Strike from Path of Exile, if you're familiar with that, I think someone that can just call all the weak, low HP champion is very powerful, and I kind of underrated that. So he's up, but I don't think he's like a good blind safe pick. I think you kind of have to build around him a bit, and you don't want to pick him into anything. Like he has some really bad matchup, especially like Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath like shits on Pantheon. You can't even beat him in lane. Uh, when you drop in, he just knocks you up and silences you. And with Shen being added, Shen just hard counters Pantheon. You can't beat him in lane, and he matches your roams. So yeah, I can't put him in ER. But in solo queue, I think people are gonna ban him like every game. I think he's really annoying to play against. He's really good in solo queue, but again, I'm rating this mostly in competitive. But in solo queue, he's probably S tier, just because of how strong his laning is and how good his roams are. But we're not rating for that. So for that reason, he's a solid B plus tier. 32, we have Singed. I got cyberbullied by Brookie to put him up, but he's still down 2 spot because Kennen and Shen exists. But Spellvamp is OP. I've seen the Woda Spectral Raid build. The amount of healing you get on that shit is ridiculous. Death timers are short, so you even if you die early, it doesn't matter. You can keep proxying, doing stupid shit. And I think proxying is really strong because, especially when you're invading, you can like go gangbang the jungler. It's really strong. Reason that he's not strong is you didn't ban Janna. You fell for it. You lost lane. You can't really lane in against the range tops. Like, I guess you can proxy, but like with Kennen being added, he's. I think Kennen's gonna give Singe a hard time, but Singe is actually really good against Shen. So maybe that evens out, I guess. But yeah, I think he's just he's a good AP. He does a lot of damage. He has decent engage against like bad players or immobile comps, and he's a good frontline presence. So he's like he just creates so much chaos. If people play properly, Singe is kind of a dog shit hero, but no one knows how to play against him. So he always does better than you would think he would do for how simple his kit is. But with all the downside he has, I kind of have to put him B tier because I don't think he can blind pick Singe and do well. He's definitely a lot stronger in lower ranks than he is in higher ranks. Still a very solid hero. Number 33, Jarvan. I kind of underrated him and he got nerfed, but I still think he's better than I rated him. He's really easy to play, and he has an attack speed aura. And we've talked about how OP ADCs are. Well, having attack speed aura is pretty damn strong. He works on a low budget and aura tank bloat max. Like you just get bulwark, lock hit, and with your E, you're always going to be useful. And you can even get sightstone, like the XPL approved champion. Like just support your team. Doesn't matter how much of a bitch you are. You get the nexus to explode. That's what matters. He does feel like he does no damage late game. The damage does fall off pretty hard unless you build like Lizard Elder and Cleaver, but That's really expensive, and I think you're better off just going to tank build, especially in a competitive setting. Uh, the nerfs to his W is really harsh for his late game. You're really gonna feel that in team fights, and the E nerf makes him have a hard time with mana. So that's a pretty substantial nerf, and he's gonna have less armor, so he's a lot less tankier. His clear is also not that good, so there's a pretty big downside. Like you'll get beaten to certain ganks, or you could actually just get invaded and lose your buffs because you have to use your your mobility to clear camps. So if you press Q on the camp, then you can't escape and you get invaded, you die. So yeah, and Amumu got buffed, so it kind of looks less appealing as a tank jungler. So unless you really like the champ, or you have like a specific comp where you really want the armor shred and the attack speed aura, he's probably not going to be as good as like Amumu or Skarner as a frontline tank. But if you really want those two things, then he's gonna be a better pick. And especially if you're against a comp that can't escape his ult without flash, that's also really strong. So uh, I think he's a solid B plus jungler, very situationally strong, but not the best all the time. Twitch kind of got nerfed for no reason. I don't know why he got nerfed. Like he was good. He was a solid B plus champion in my opinion, but he got nerfed. So there's a lot of he's got the highest range with his ultimate, which is very powerful. He can roam, and he's got good pick potential, which is kind of unusual for AD carry. He's also a good hyper carry, and Swords of Divine is like really funny on him. The Maple Street build gives you like a mid game power spike that some AD carries can't have. But like his lane isn't that good. Like his laning wasn't that good to begin with. He doesn't have wave clear. He's very squishy. Pink wards completely ruined him. He got nerfed pretty hard for his laning because the 2 AD is like losing. He lost like 4% of his base AD, which is a pretty big nerf. And the W nerf is going to make his W a lot less reliable in lanes and roams. And his ultimate won't hit as reliably in team fights. So he got nerfed at every stages in the game. And that's a pretty big nerf. Also unyielding. Even if you're playing AD carry, I unironically think you should take at least 1 point into unyielding. Two is optimal, obviously, but unyielding against Twitch makes this passive do nothing. It's a magic damage passive, which means MR applies first. So if it's doing 4 damage per stack, the MR, just your base MR, is going to lower it to 3 damage per stack. Then you have 2 points into unyielding, it lowers it to 1 damage per stack. You're going from 3 damage per stack to 1 damage per stack. And if you know math, that you know that that means it does no damage, essentially. So unyielding is crazy against Twitch and makes this passive absolutely useless. And people aren't really realizing that. And once people figured that one out, because I just mentioned it, and me and Falcon tested this, it's really OP. It means that any lane against Twitch, his passive doesn't exist. It doesn't do anything. So that makes his laning even worse. So yeah, I can't see myself rating him higher than the other EQ carries I've rated. Speaking about AD carries, we have Misfortune, who's gotten a pretty big buff, kind of for no reason. I think she was actually pretty strong, but she has a really good attack speed steroid and it got buffed. Maybe you can do the Redactic build on her, but I don't recommend it. I did watch Bebe completely destroy M5 with her with Bloodthirster, Phantom Dancer, Last Whisper. So maybe we're just building her all wrong. Like the Black Cleaver build is probably just a bait. Like playing around her ultimate seems like a bait. I think you're better off playing around her W and her attack speed and her Q because she has really good steroids with that. Playing around the ultimate is kind of like a debate, I think. She's really good in lane. I think the only champion that comes close to her in lane is like Corki, and even then she can probably beat him. She's really mobile for rotation. That's something kind of underrated is like being able to move fast out of combat. You can rotate a lot faster in this hero than other AD carries, which means you can go pick up farm that you normally wouldn't be able to, and stuff like that. The built-in Grievous Wound is always really good, especially with Shen and Akali being added. Two very Even Kennen with double Woda, like eye healing champions. Grievous Wound's really good to have. Again, AD carries the supports the OP. The buffs are gonna help her laning in the team fights a lot, so I think she's gonna be. I mean, I think I might have underrated her. I think she might be even better, but I'm being kind of conservative. She's up 11 spot. That's already a pretty big bump. But yeah, she's kind of short range and immobile in combat, so there's that pretty downside. And she has no wave clear outside her ultimate, which kind of sucks in sieges. But I think she's a really good AD carry. Like, especially with Umumu getting buff, like Umumu MF, it goes hard. Like that's what TPA was playing with her and was really strong. Hash, she kind of goes down because other champions got buffed. I don't really think she dropped because like who overtook her? It's like Kennen, Shen, Blitzcrank, MF, Amumu. Like these are all champions that got buffed. Like she's not weaker. She's basically the same. Uh, she's still like a utility to carry. Like you're not gonna pick her in a low damage comp. She has no wave clear also, but like she has really good engage. So if you have like a comp with like high damage, decent front line, but no engage, she's like your go-to pick. Like let's say you have like Mundo who got buffed with Olaf who got buffed as like top jungle, and your mid laner is like I don't know, like Kennen. Let's just go all in on the champions that got buffed. Actually, Kennen can engage. What about I don't know, Janna mid? Like I don't care. No, you need eye damage. Brand, there you go. Brand mid. That's a lot of damage in that comp, but no one can engage really. So take Ash. She consists. She just has that utility. She engages. Boom. That's a good pick. And you have wave clear with Brand and Olaf in that scenario. So yeah, you have to pick her in specific comps. You can't pick her to be a hyper carry. She's not meant for that. You pick her for control, for vision control, and for engage power, and the ability to slow the enemy team. So you have to pick damage in other roles to make up for that weakness. But if you do that, she's a really good pick. So that's why she's B tier. Olaf. Olaf basically got un-Olafed, not completely, but mostly. His E is still really strong. He has a 340 base damage. Losing the 80 ratio doesn't matter. It's basically the same. He's a really good pusher, especially with Shen being added. Olaf is one of those few champions that can lane against Shen and beat him. And one of the biggest thing is Olaf can push Shen in and really bully him around, especially with his E and his ability to push and the life steal. Like he really good pick against Shen. He has good itemization still, like Warmog is good. He has Frozen Heart that's good. He has Visage that's good. And with all the buffs he's gotten on his Q, not being slow decayed, having a better short range, like you can throw it melee range and pick it up. The W having a lower cooldown really helps. The armor pen on his ultimate being passive is really huge. Like this champion is gonna go up in big time in win rate. I think for a top, he's gonna be a good pick, and he's gonna be like really good against like Shen and Nasus. He's not gonna do so hot against Kennen though. Kennen's gonna still give him a hard time. Nidalee's gonna give him a hard time, but against like Nasus, Shen, and even like Tryndamere, he's gonna really dumpster them. His mana costs are still rough. It's not the best, but if you can manage, and AD carries are OP. I don't think Olaf can kill AD carries late game as much as I like him. He's more like a good front line. He's got decent wave clear, and he's gonna disrupt the team fight a bit. But I don't think he's gonna be able to like go in and destroy the AD carry by himself. He's gonna need someone to help him. So that's why you kind of put him as a situationally great pick. So I think solid top laner. I'm glad he's getting buffed because I like playing him, and he's a top laner, which we don't have that many of. So having another top laner that's like playable is gonna be fun. I can't wait to play him. 38, Akali. If we look at the version they added, I don't think she's as OP as she could have been, but I think she's still going to be a decent champion. Her sustain is really strong. and she's very mobile when she hits six against a roster that's like not that mobile. And modern players won't be know that you can dodge the shroud. If you dodge the shroud, you kill her. But people don't know about the pink warding the spear or dodging the shroud. So because they weren't in the forms back in the day. Being an energy champ is always a strong upside because you don't have like managed mana. Like you can attrition people. She's really good duelist after two items, especially like I mean, Gunblade's kind of shit, but like the item's good on her. Like, if you have like Gunblade Abyssal, you're pretty fucking strong in a 1v1. Or if you go like Sunfire Abyssal, also really strong in a 1v1. She's low key a pretty good farming jungler. She clears really fast and very healthy, but she can't gank pre 6, so maybe it's just an interesting flex pick. I think she's gonna be best played top lane, especially against like Kennen uh, Rise and other like range tops that people are playing, like even in Italy. Like against range tops, she's gonna have a really good time. Against melee tops like Lee Sin and Olaf, she's gonna get dumpstered. So like she's not something you're gonna want to blind pick, you know. In mid lane, I don't. I mean, she can still do well against like Kartus and Rise again, but she's not gonna do well against like Ari or like even Zillion. Like what do you do against Zillion? He just pushes you in all game, and you can match your roam and block your kills. So yeah, downside is like the E doesn't proc Q in this version, so that's a pretty big nerf. But it's not a nerf; it's a pretty big buff not to have. Gunblade's a shit item, but it's so good on her that you're still gonna buy it probably, but the item sucks. It doesn't give enough stats for how expensive it is. She's very vulnerable to CCs, so if you pick her into like a CC heavy comp with point and click stuff, you're just gonna get melted. Good players are gonna dodge the shroud or pink ward it, and pick. If you're against Lee Sin, you're unplayable. You can't play the game. You need resets, a little bit like Katarina. If you don't get resets and your team is behind, you're pretty useless. So I think she's gonna be good situationally, not OP. Probably like a decent champion. People, she's probably gonna stomp low elo because of all the reasons I've listed. All her counterplay requires you having a brain, and we have established that modern players are subhumans with AD IQ at best. So yeah, she's probably gonna get nerfed if anything. So stupid. Cho'Gath, 39th. Yeah, she went down a bit, but that's like mostly because the champions being added and buffed. Like three champions got added and two champions got buffed, and they overtook him. How could they? As a jungler, he clears really fast, and he can start red, which is kind of good because you don't get if you lose your blue, you don't care. He's a good top laner as an AP off tank, like with Roa, Abyssal. You can also even play in mid. Like a mid is not bad. Like the Q Max AP build mid is good. Like it's not bad pick into certain champions. The roster is very immobile, so Q's a lot easier to land. He's got the best objective control in the game, so early Barons, early Dragons, you should be able to control them. Obviously, he's very immobile. His abilities can be dodged by good players. Even if they don't have mobility, they can still dodge them by outsmarting you. And if you start dying, it can snowball really fast, and you never get your stacks back, and it feels like shit. And that's a pretty big downside because a lot of his power comes from having a big HP pool. You start losing that, he feels pretty bad to play. But I think he's a decent pick, very safe pick, and you could play him into most comps, into most champions. He kind of sucks against Vayne. He kind of sucks against like Amumu and stuff with a lot of health damage. But like he's he's just a reliable, safe pick. There's a reason why Odd One and Hotshot Shiji kept playing him, even though he wasn't popular, is because he's not that hard to play. He works well in most situations. He's probably not the best in every situation, but he's all around just good. So that's why I put him in a solid B tier. Tarek, number 40. And the thing is, like, number 40, you might think, oh, that's a bad champion. But like I said in the previous tier list, I think there's like 50 viable champion. Maybe even more now. Like with some champions being buff, I think it's like 50 and champions being added. Like I think all three champions that got added are viable. So I think there's like 55 champions that are viable right now for a 63 roster. So yeah, like even if you're like 40 at B tier, you're still a playable champion. It's just that you have some weaknesses that are more apparent than others, and you need to be picked into different team comps. So Tarek went down 8 spot, mostly because buffs and champions being added. Like the point and click stun, good roams, good orb load. He's good in lane. Same thing as I said before. Like he's just a good, safe, easy pick to play. Problem is he falls off a bit. And his steroids aren't that good. It's kind of like Sona. Like, he just gives AP and AD. It's not that good. It's not like attack speed. It doesn't have shields. It doesn't have unhit damage. It's very predictable. So you have to play to his strengths because his weaknesses are very exploitable. Still makes him a pretty good support. Like especially in like 1v2 lanes, he's pretty good at diving early. Leona, 41. I kind of underrated her a little bit. I think I put her like top of C tier last time. Now I put her in like bottom of B tier. Her engage is really strong. Like she has a lot of hard CC. She's deceptively tanky, and yeah, Dorn Shield is really funny on her. Moby's are OP, so she has good roams. The level and invade, you start Dorn Shield, you walk into the enemy jungle and you fucking face check. You don't give a shit because whoever is there, you fucking auto Q auto and you fucking bunk their ass. And you have like 800 health level one. The only problem is that this champion can't play against Janna, so ban that champion, seriously. Like, you can't play the game if you're against Janna. Like, you literally cannot play the game. She's gonna Q every single one you E, and any good engage is gonna get disengaged by her ult. Like, no point to playing the game if Janna's in the game. She has no poke, no sustain, no steroid for the ADC, so that's kind of a big downside. Not being able to help buff your AD carry is a big reason why Blitz and Leona are not that high because you you don't get AD carries are so OP. They dominate the game. They decide who win the game in this mode. So you need to be able to buff them or help them sustain, and they can't do that. So you really, if you're not winning, she's useless. She's really oppressive when she's winning. She can snowball really hard, but uh, if you don't, you're less useful and you fall off a bit in that sense. She's also a lot better, like, if you have a soul laner that's the support. Like, if you have Lulu mid or top and you pick Leona or Blitz, like, it's a lot better than picking Leona with a regular mage. Because you have that AD carry steroid and that AD carry peel and that AD carry protection. So yeah, solid support pick. I really like playing her. She's probably my favorite support to play. And I think she's in a good state. You just have to ban Janna. Like that champion's unplayable against. 42 is the Fiddlestick support. I did mention that the Fiddle Corky lane. I think that's a really good lane to match up combo together. Like the 3 second fear is ridiculous. Like even with Merc Treads, it feels like it lasts forever. His E is really good in lane. His silence spam is strong in team fights. And AD carries aren't building QSS and aren't going quite cleanse, so they really feel the brunt of that silence and 3 second fear. Problem is the super squishy. I should add like MR shred. Like MR aura shred is a very strong buff, especially with like Corki and other ADKs that does magic damage. And with a Mumu, you could actually make people go into the negative resistances in some situation. Like you have an Mumu with Abyssal, that's already like 55 resist, and then you have another 10 from Fiddlesticks. Like you'll be doing like 20. They're gonna have like -20 MR or something. It's gonna be hilarious. But yeah, he's super squishy, and you need to get Zanyas. Once you have Zanyas, you're golden. But yeah, without Zanyas, this champion can really get bursted and die. His ultimate cooldown is really long, so that limits his ability to make plays, which kind of sucks. But his fear is really OP. With Moby Boots, he can just roam, really strong. Don't blame jungle. He's a dog shit F tier jungler. He can't clear, gets invaded, loses every 1v1. It's so bad. Like it takes him forever to clear the first camp, and you need a really strong leash, which means your lane's gonna be late and probably lose because of that. if you get invaded and lose your blue buff, you're done for the game. You can't play. Uh, Once you get level 6, sure, you can like probably kill mid lane with a turret dive. But like, I don't know, man. He's just so it's clear so shit. He these items to do damage. He's not gonna be able to do that on jungle budget. Like, just don't play him jungle. Play him support. He's so much better as a support. So yeah, as a support, I think he's a solid. He's a B tier support, and as a jungler, he's F tier. Don't play him. Don't play him there. Nunu, he took a big drop, mostly because I played him and I realized how much no damage he does. Like this champion does no fucking damage. Like he, after 25 minutes, you definitely feel like you're just a sack of shit walking around, pressing laugh with a new bot skin. Also, the big downside is no hard CC, especially with like champions like Katarina, uh, Evelyn, like Gragas. Like you really need hard CC to deal with these champions, and he doesn't have that. He definitely still has his upside. Like his early game invades are really strong. He's really good at controlling objective. He's got the Baron potential, and Blood Bowl is OP with 80 carries being OP. And he's got attack speed slow in his ball and his ultimate. So he still has all these things going for him, but like I feel like there's better tank jungler option. Like Amumu's got Giga buffed, Skarner got buffed. There's like Jarvan is still probably better even with the nerfs. Wukong is better. Like NASA's jungle is better. Like I feel like there's isn't enough there in this kit to make him that good, though he's a very good pick against Heimerdinger. So if you're really struggling with the overpowered Heimerdinger, who's apparently OP according to the data, yeah, just pick Dunu against him. It's a free win. But otherwise, I mean, he's good. He has his strengths, but I don't think he's as good as I put him. I think I put him in like mid A tier last time. No, I think he's more like a B tier pick, more in the low end. Mundo, my boy, Doctor Mundo. He got buffed really well. I like those buffs. His clear is still really fast, but now he's gonna be like literally immune to CC. With he's gonna have 90% tenacity unless they fix the tenacity bug, which is basically CC immunity. He still does a shit ton of damage, and he's great for early barons. And by the way, you can solo baron with Leandries on this champion at 15 minutes. If you go like behind the pit, like near the rake camp on red side, you can throw cleavers into the baron without the baron being able to attack you, which means you can just sit there. Like if you get some CDR and some magic pen, you can just throw your cleaver on the baron for a minute, and you're gonna kill the baron in a minute, and you don't take any damage from that. So you could do some really silly early sneak baron on this champion. Obviously, building Leandries is a bit troll, but Sork shoes are not bad on this hero, especially with Golem. Like you go Golem Sork shoes, that's not a bad item. But if you don't have Leandries, the Baron's gonna take for fucking ever. So probably gonna take like 2 minutes instead of 1 minute. So, but you can still sneak it and solo it. It's kind of funny. Like maybe you can get it low and then you just everyone rotates and bursts it really quickly. That I think the early Baron potential is definitely there though. The R buff is gonna be really good, especially late game. And the W buff is gonna help his early clear a lot. What's he's getting like 17% more damage, no 15% more damage in his W level 1. So yeah, it's a really good buff for his early clear. You obviously can't pick him into any comp. Like if you're against Katarina or Tristana or at Misfortune, you probably don't want to pick her. Too much intel. He has no art CC, so you need someone else to pick up the slack. Maybe you need like a Fiddlestick junk support or a Leona. Like if you basically need somebody else to fill up that role. His early clear is still pretty gonna be rough. Like you're still gonna be really low and you can get invaded and sniped. So you gotta be careful. You kind of want to pick him into like a herbivore jungler that doesn't invade. Like, I mean, Nasa's jungle is a good one. But yeah, I think he's actually playable. Like he's not a troll pick. People hate on him, but I think he's a solid pick now. Number 45, Malzahar. Despite all the 80 Malzahars that keep popping up in my game for some reason, and soloing Dragon at level 3 with mixed results, I can't help but lower this champion a little bit because of all the champions that got added and buffed. He still has a point click suppress, which is very strong, but as we've established, modern mouse players have to press W before pressing R, so that's a very high skill cap for the modern players. But for a normal human being, that's easy to play. He has really easy wave clear. He's got silence in the QSS stack, so this is still really strong. But he's very immobile and vulnerable to CC. And the short range of him makes him very hard to pull off. Like if you don't have flash, you can't really make any plays. Like I mentioned with Twitch, unyielding is very powerful because of how the mat works. It makes his E do a lot less damage. So if you're laning against Malzahar, you grab unyielding, his poke is a lot worse. So that's something to take into account. He's still like a decent, easy to play pick. Like I think if you're like looking to just lock down one person and one person only, you can do that. Number 46, we're still in B tier, I think. It's Scion, right? Yeah, we're still in B tier. Scion. So what's good about Scion? Well, he's got good wave clear, good roam. Didn't really change much. Like he's just champions got added or buffed. What I really like about him is like he's really good as a counter pick. Like if you're against like a low wave clear mid laner like Rise or like I can't really think of another one right now, but he's gonna be really good against Akali. Like you against a low wave clear like oh in Italy, that's a good one. Like you against low wave clear mid laner you can just push and roam. You get like the triple Dorns Moby boots and then you just roam around, kill people, you're point click CC. And low key this champion can actually it can actually play support. Like 1v2 lane with science support, you can tower dive at level 2. It's really unfair for the top laner and or the mid laner. And yeah, like he has really bad mana cost though, and he's really predictable. And the ED build sucks. Don't even bother. This is a purely AP rating. Like he's still like he's basically nothing changed. He's a good counter pick, but he's not like the best champion in the game. He's not Reddit OP. Yeah, I put this champion at 47 because like I've seen a lot of Cassidy. I still think he's like a good situational pick because of his mobility and his late game potential and his silence. But man, this champion sucks in lane. He's so bad. And he can't deal with lane swap and there's some matchups like I've seen some Cassidans have like 4 CS at like 6 minutes because their matchup is so bad and they can't even play the game. Like uh, just because he's good late game, I can't put him any lower. But like, his champion's not good, dude. His champion sucks. You really need a very specific situation for him to work because otherwise, if you blind pick him, he's dog shit. Also, you want to start doing the strategy where you hover Kassadin in champ select so they can't ban it. You don't want your teammates banning this dog shit hero. Because if they blind pick Kassadin, it's like a free win. Like it's just so free. Like just put the fries in the bag. Pick Wukong mid or Pantheon. It's a free win. Like they don't even overthink it. Like yeah, most overrated champion award for sure. And yeah, you can't play the game without blue buffs. Like no one gives them blue buffs. So yeah, I'll put him at the bottom of B tier. All right, into C tier. Like these are champion that like are kind of decent. They're not unplayable, but they have to be really to be good. They need like good situations. I put at top of CD. I'm gonna put Kale because she's still really strong late game, but unlike Cassidy, her late game isn't that bad. She has good utility, even if she's behind. She has like a damage amp. The movement speed on in Ealing on her W lasts for fucking ever. It's kind of crazy if you have like a bruiser. You can just give them a 12-second movement speed buff. Like, okay. Problem is like her early game is kind of shit, and people are building her wrong. Like the attack speed build sucks. Just build AP on her and burst people. You really need like two items to get going. I think like once you have like Lich Bane deck cap or Morello's Lich Bane or Morello's deck cap, something like that. I think Nashor's is kind of a bait. Like don't go for attack speed items. Just build her pure AP. She also feels terrible without CDR, so you kind of want to get the blue buffs. You wanted CDR items. I think Morello's is the best one in my opinion because it's really cheap and it gives 75 AP and it gives mana regen, which you kind of want. It's not bad to have. So yeah, like for how weak she is in lane, she's not as weak as Cassin, and she still scales pretty well. If anything, I should put Kill at 47 and put Cassin at 48, honestly. But like, yeah, she went up a bit, but it's mostly because I think people were starting to figure out that you can just build AP on her and attack speed spam. Alright, Vec, your propaganda word, bro. The propaganda for Brand worked. We're bumping him up 3 spots. The 49th. He's actually pretty decent mid. Like I've seen Titan Dweevil and like a solo queue player play him. He did pop up that game, and it felt like the champion had like his damage is really good, but the problem is you have to land it. It's kind of like the problem. Like his AoE's good. He's basically a suicide grenade. Like you just go in, use your abilities, and die. So yeah, the Vec propaganda work. The only problem is that Vec got solo killed by Tiamat Rush Garen as Brand top, so that's what really hurt the rating of that champion. He's still short range and squishy, so you kind of have like to play the kamikaze playstyle. Uh, the ultimate RNG bounce is like missile speed sucks, but the RNG on the bounce can suck. But with Amumu getting buff, like a brand Amumu comp could go really hard. Like if you have someone CC for him, like Amumu, could be a really good comp. So I think he could be a very good situational pick. But he's so hard to play. He has so much room to fail that I can't really put him any higher. But like if you're good at him, and you have the proper setup facing an immobile roster, I can definitely see him being a good pick. So yay, top of C tier. Number 50, Master Yi. I mean, I've seen so many Spectral Ray jungles, Master Yi, but like, if you actually play him AD, his Clear Spirit is pretty good. And it scales pretty well, actually. Like, with how OP supports are, he can actually be a late game hyper carry. The problem is he's melee, so he can't really kill turret. And CC can definitely ruin his day. But like, if you have a fucking Yi plus Kale or Yi Morgana, like, or Yi Lulu, late game, that kind of goes hard. It's kind of hard to deal with. But yeah, if you get stunned, you're gonna be dead most of the time. He kind of sucks in early duels unless you win the double strike lottery. Like, you get invaded, you can't really duel that many champions early. You can't gank early. I'm purely rating this champion as an AD champ. I think APE is a dog shit clickbait champion that does nothing. Like if he ever does something good, you should have just been Katarina or even a Kali. Like those champions does what he does better as AP. So like as an AD jungler or even potentially AD top laner, I think he's situationally good. But as AP, I think he's dog shit. Like I don't think this is a real champion as you play him AP. All right, Falcon, your propaganda is starting to fail. You're gonna need to step up your game. Jax is up 5 spot to 51, and that's with 3 champions being added. That means he's like actually up 8 spot if we think about it. Thing with Jax is he scales really hard. Like if you actually get to 10,000 gold, he is a monster. He's really hard to beat. He can duel anyone. He's really, really, really hard to kill. But somehow people are dying to him in lane, and they're failing to invade him. So that leads to him being like a decent jungler because he could actually just farm, and after level 6 he clears pretty well. Or he ends up being a decent laner because Brookie Tryndamere mid got solo killed by the Jax mid. So even though he's supposedly terrible early game, somehow people are losing to him early game. So that's kind of concerning. But I think against like real human beings or people that are playing seriously and not trolling, he's not gonna have that luxury. His passive is still bug, and there's no fixes in the patch notes, by the way. Is sleep strike level 1 still a joke? So yeah, like I can't rate him any higher, but like if he gets to late game, he is in fact a monster. So keep that in mind. Warwick, fucking Denmark's population has never boomed higher than before, dude. Like everyone's building Madrid on this fucking champion. It's so fucking stupid. They're experiencing a massive baby boom from all the Madrid rush Warwicks we're seeing. Like he still has a like point and click. He doesn't really have any bad lane stop, and he's easy to play. He can soul Baron pretty much with 2 items, even though it takes forever. But like he can soul it. He's got the QSS stacks and the attack speed over, so why is he not that high? Well, he gets destroyed by CC. Like you can just cancel his ultimate with any form of CC. We're seeing people buffer CC. Like Tristana can buffer her ultimate. Fiddlesticks can buffer his fear. Singe can buffer his fling and cancel the suppressed part of his ultimate when they ultimate them. So there's a lot of situation where like you ulti someone and it get immediately canceled because they buffered their ability. So that's a really bad fucking downside to have. His clear speed got terrible. It got nerfed really hard. Like losing base attack speed means all the attack speed he gets from items and runes is worse. So his clear was already bad. Now it's even worse. And yeah, he can't do anything once his ultimate is down, and he can't gank early. And with all those, like that nerf was so harsh and for no fucking reason. Nerf for no reason award. Like I guess people were just that bad at the game that Warwick is dumpstering them. So with that nerf alone, and people figuring out how to buffer abilities, I can't see him being that good of a pick. Like you have to be really situational when you're gonna pick him. And I think he's gonna be better picked as a top laner than a jungler. I think like when I rate him as this position, I think it's as a top laner, not as a jungler. I think there's no situation where you pick this champion as a jungler, unless you're like really bad or new at the game. But yeah, he's dropped a lot, 14 spots, just because like attack speed base is a really big nerf. Alright, Malphite. Dude, I see I'm a PewDiePie building full AP and one shot everyone in the show match. Not the show match, the Go for LOL Pro, whatever. That was really funny. Maybe that's a good build. But like his ultimate's still really strong, like good engage. He's got an attack speed slow, which just makes him one of the rare 80 carries counters in the game. In a team mode dominated by 80 carries. He can build AP. It's not unplayable, but I don't think it's that good. Problem is like his lanings are not good. Like he doesn't have any good matchups right now. Like he's okay against Shen. So with Shen being added, he's got one better matchup, I guess. But his mana costs are so bad. It's still like people are good enough that they can flash his ultimate, and supports are so OP they can still peel for their 80 carry even if you land the ultimate. So yeah, like we're gonna need more 80 champions added to the game before this champions gets better, and he's gonna probably need a buff, probably to his W or something, like give him more armor. Because right now the armor only works when he has W activated instead of passive, so it's kind of shit. So yeah, I think it's decent, definitely situationally okay, but like I don't think he's We need more champions so you can get better. Annie. I'm rating Annie as a support. I think as a mid laner she sucks. Flash Tipper is a good engage. She has long auto range, so you can like bully people with their auto range in bot lane. Especially like the level one invade when you set up your stun with W, like really good for level one invades. But like her scaling sucks. Like her AP scaling sucks. She doesn't do enough damage late game. Tibbers is like a 50 gold feed to the enemy laner. So you're better off playing her support and just using her as an engage tool and decent lane option. She has no utility for the AD carry though, so she's not that great as a support. I think she's like good against like Sona and like I think the last time I mentioned against like Sona Ash. If like against like an immobile AD carry and like a squishy support, that's a good situation to pick her as a support. But like she has no wave clear as a mid laner, so I can't see her being a good mid laner. She doesn't have the burst, she doesn't have the wave clear, she doesn't have the utility. Like, what are we doing here? But as a support, maybe he can work in some situation. But she is pretty useless without flash, so you're really banking on the flash Tibber plays. If you don't have that, you're pretty useless. Number 55, Gangplank, down 16 spot. Is that the biggest drop off in the list? Maybe, who knows? I think the highest before that was like Tryndamere with like 15. So he's up there. He's got raised morale. That's always good for the voice chat, having some high morale. He's got a global ultimate that works sometimes. His level 1 is pretty to 4 is pretty strong. So what's the problem? This is a nostalgia bait champion. He's terrible before he gets 384s. He doesn't have any wave clear. He can't split push versus any champ. His late game isn't even good for how bad the mid game is. He's a terrible jungler. He can't bot lane AD carry. I'm sorry, Vec and Jared. These are not real pit champ. This is not a real pick in those roles. Even eating oranges doesn't make everything go okay, okay? And his passive does no damage because we've established that unyielding works post resistances, which makes his passive does nothing except slow for 21% at 3 stacks, which is honestly not that good. So yeah, this is nostalgia bait. Oh my god, look at my bank playing clip, or the random Q1 shot because somehow you got fed from snowballing level 1 to 4. Otherwise, the champion just sucks. He doesn't do anything well. Vhagar, minus 23. What the fuck happened there? Wow, this champion fucking sucks. Like, the instant cage is really strong, but like, it's hard to use. What's really good about it is like, if you go support, you just max E and you're basically full build at level 9 because all your abilities are worthless. They buffed his like AP ratio. Like that doesn't fucking matter. The champion fucking sucks mid lane. He can't wave clear. He doesn't have any poking tool. He can't trade. He's too squishy. He's got no sustain. He's got no utility. Like he's a dog shit laner. Like he's a support champ. His only gimmick is the cage, and they're buffing something that he doesn't need buffs in. So this champion's gonna be shit for a long time because they don't know how to buff him because they don't have any patches to reference to buff him. So they're gonna have to do something completely new to buff him. And going by Riot and how terrible this patch note was, considering they nerfed Heimerdinger and nerfed champions that didn't need nerfs in ways that make no sense, then yeah, like I don't see this champion ever getting good. And as a support, like he doesn't have the utility. Like the stun is nice, but like that's it. He's got one ability. You're picking a champion for one ability. Like I don't know, man. I don't see it. All right, now my boy Shaco, not Shaco. There's no Y in the name. You stupid. Shaco. Down 4 spot, but supposed because people got added. His biggest strength, and I'm not even joking, is the white camp existing. White camp makes this champion a lot better than he should be because he's really good at invading and he's really good at getting picks. So when you're invading and they do white camp, you can steal their entire top side. And like like I said, the Sabbath Vade versus the Redditor clear. Like he punishes that the hardest because you can set up boxes and bushes and ambush someone and kill them while they're level 2 and you're level 3. He snowballs really hard. He's good at split pushing. He's good at getting picks. He's good at early barons and dragons with his clone. The problem is he's useless when he's behind, and he's not that good late game. Like he can't and like if the game doesn't end early, he's gonna have a really hard time closing it out. And you can't play the game against Lulu or Janna. They just fucking completely kill you, especially if they have like a pink ward or oracles. They just completely negate you as a champion. And on top of that, exhaust. I didn't put exhaust. Like if someone has exhaust, they can just exhaust you and you do no damage. So like, this is a solo queue stomp champ. I don't think he's competitively viable, but he's really fun to play in solo queue. You can snowball really hard and get some 15-minute wins. It's definitely fun to do. But if the game starts dragging out or you didn't get the snowball out properly, you start to feel pretty miserable. So yeah, Sivir down 11 spots. I don't know what the fuck Riot's doing with this champion. Like, sure, she's good at pushing. She got utility with her ult, and AD carry items are OP, supports are OP. But like, what the? Why is she getting nerfed? She they nerf for no reason award. Like, why the fuck is her passive getting nerfed without any compensation buff? She was already like one of the weaker AD carries because of her short range and her terrible mana cost. Like, why the fuck are they nerfing her? Makes no fucking sense. Like that, the champion was like okay, like situationally decent, but they just nerfed her for no reason. And I think the only way you can play her now is if you lane swap and or push turrets. I think that's the only way you can play her because I don't know what you could do with her. Like you just push turrets. If you don't win early with the goal lead, you lose. I guess that's basically all she can do. So yeah, Sivir is gonna be near the bottom C tier. All right, everyone was waiting for this one. The GOAT, Garen. Let's go. 59 C tier. We did it. The propaganda worked. No, it's real though. Like Sunfire, double Sunfire is really strong. It's a real build, and he's one of those champions that actually makes use of it the best, because he doesn't need to build Frozen Heart, which is like the go-to for mana champions who want to build armor. So he doesn't get to build that. So he can go double Sunfire. He's got Silence, which is OP. It's actually his silence is pretty good, especially against Katarina and like other champions. If you can silence someone, like even Pantheon, like you can silence them, it's actually pretty strong in team fight. Vex 17 got solo killed by TMAsh Rush Garen as Brand Top, like we've mentioned, and he got one shotted by Addicted to Bacon as Tristana. So by he's basically the best top champion in the game. Brookie played Zillion top, got manhandled by Garen. XPL art carried the game with him, and he got his ult regen and his ultimate cooldown buff. Like the Garen stocks are all time high. The only thing is this champion's a joke. Like he does nothing other than being a vehicle for Sunfire and Randuin's. He's good at it, but that's all he does. You're not playing Garen. You're playing double Sunfire Randuin's. He's easy to kite, and his scaling is really jank. So that's why like you have to go to double Sunfire build in this champion. It's really funny. It's really fun to play, but it's not the best. But it is really funny. And it's better than what other champions have as option. Like Rammus, this champion kind of sucks. Like went down 5 spots. Like he still has a good taunt. He's also a decent double Sapphire user, but like his clear is so dog shit. Like his clear speed in the jungle is really bad, and he's really easy to kite. So you can't really engage that well. He can't lane it versus anyone. Like, could you imagine playing Rammus top against Olaf now? Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's like a Malphite situation. But unlike Malphite, he doesn't have like alternative build like AP or crit. So he's just like stuck being like a anti AD tank that has to build MR because everyone's playing MR champion, AP champions, and but also you can't beat 80 carries because they have too much shielding and too much healing from their supports, and they have too much peel. So I don't know. This champion is just shit. Probably the weakest tank in the game. No, I don't really see much point in picking him. But at least he's more pickable than the almost overpowered champion in the game. Iron is so OP. He's like 60% win rate, allegedly. Like he did get his Q buffed. Like when he came out, he didn't have the stacks, so he could actually stack two turrets now. And he actually got his passive buff. Like before, it was like 5 HP per 5 at level 1. Now it's 10. And it scales, I think. He's like really annoying to play against as a melee champion. He can get turrets really fast. But like modern players are fucking subhumans. Apparently he's like 57% win rate. And he's getting nerfed on every single ability for no fucking reason. Ice Champion's immobile as fuck. He has eye cooldowns, eye mana cost. Like if you have Smite or Nunu, his turrets die immediately. His grenade is a joke. Like if you land a grenade, it's like you deserve a medal for that, unless it's like point blank, and even point blank you can miss it. So yeah, like this champion fucking sucks, and he's getting nerfed. This is the ultimate Redditor stomp champion that like is funny because people don't know how to play against it. Like I've seen so many people, they just walk into the turrets and face tank them for 8 seconds, and then they die, and you're like, what the fuck are they doing? They're not human beings. These are not humans. So that's why he has a high win rate. But if you have a working brain, you realize that his towers are so easy to kill, and that you like even if you run a double smite comp, you could make this champion non-existent. And having double smite isn't even bad because the other person who has smite can give you a smite leash, which is actually OP. You can do counter jungling, you can farm the golems or the white camp with it. You can secure cannons. You have better objective burst. Like having double smite isn't even bad, and it makes this champion unplayable. So why wouldn't you go double smite against Eimer? So yeah, this champion is like just dog shit. He's a meme redditor stomper champ. Same thing with kind of with Timo. Like, his champion sucks. He doesn't do anything that Nidalee or Kennen can do. His mana cost sucks. Oracle exists, so his gimmick doesn't work. Like, sure, you could maybe do the redacted build on him, but like, what else is he gonna do? Like, this champion doesn't do anything. If you're taking up picking this champion, just pick Nidalee or Kennen. Like, I don't see a reason you'd ever pick this champion. Finally, I mean, nothing changed. Like, I don't care that she got buffed. Like, this champion is the worst champion in the game by far. She's gonna need like major rebalances to get even close to sniffing the C tier. Like, you buff her movement speed, sure, but like that's just gonna make you able to run away faster after you've missed all of your damage. The ulti cooldown is like, sure, you're gonna be able to stall the game longer for late game locks, which is unplayably dog shit. She does no damage, so your win condition is laughing until the enemy rage quits with your annoying laugh. Uh, her shield is a skill shot. It's worse than every point and click shield in the game. Her passive sucks, doesn't scale. The Radiant Sun E is shit. It's like playing Brand, but like everything's a skill shot. Like Brand, everything's a skill shot, right? Same with Lux. But unlike Brand, where you actually do damage, this champion does no damage. You land your entire combo, you don't even do anything. I have seen Lux with like 2 items, and she presses E, and she doesn't even one shot the fucking casters at like 25 minutes. Like, what are we doing? This champion's unplayable. She can't support, she can't mid, she's useless. Bottom of the barrel, F tier garbage. So, yeah, that's my tier list, and I'm gonna upload this uh, on my shitty YouTube, and I'm gonna post the tier list in the document in the chat. Thank you to anyone who was here. I guess I could maybe read if anyone was listening. Apparently the mic didn't work. Unlucky. All right, well, GG.